to prove themselves, to make improvements, to make adjustments. To be fair to James Franklin, Joe Paterno had a 75% winning percentage at Penn State. He's a legend. And James Franklin had a 71% winning percentage at Penn State. So it wasn't like he was garbage. It wasn't like he was trash. They did win a Big Ten championship with him as the head coach. They had multiple seasons with 10 wins. I'll even go as far as to say, this year alone, if you're just going to take this year into account, losing at home to Oregon, you can survive that. I don't think anybody's gonna fire you over that. And frankly, if you look at, I know even we've talked about the fact that Penn State was 4-21 under him against top 10 teams. I'd be willing to bet that in many, if not most of those games, they were underdogs. So when we look a little deeper into those numbers, you can say, okay, if you're playing better teams, it's not a shock that you lose to them. So that I don't even think that's what it was. So you can lose to top 10 teams. You can lose to Oregon, who was the number 5 or 6 team in the country at the time. It's not great. People talk, but you're probably not going to lose your job when you've done all those other things that we mentioned. But then when you go on the road, like we talked about, and in front of about 750 people, you lose to a UCLA team that hadn't been winning a game at any point before playing Penn State this year, and lose by 20, like lose going away. That's kind of rough. But to be honest with you, I think you could have survived that because it was out west. It was after Oregon. People understand that you might lay an egg after a tough home loss like that. You cannot then come home and basically be 3 touchdown favorites and lose to Northwestern. You just can't do that. And that to me just screams, and this is why I'm okay with this firing. That screams to me is that now you've lost the messaging. Your players are now turning a deaf ear to you. They're not listening to you. Maybe in a way it's not fair. Maybe they're listening to the media. My cousin loves to call him Big Game James, that he can't win the big game, as if it's not the players on the field that are the ones losing the game. So maybe it's them listening to the media and all that stuff. But that, to me, was the nail in the coffin. I hate to see a guy go 6 games into a season, but this one seems justified.
Well, to more of your point with the Northwestern game, they look lifeless.
Yeah. I mean, they're losing most of that game.
And they couldn't, even when they were winning, it was 6 points, 5 points?
Yeah,
was the most they were. It was not good. Lost the quarterback in the process. He's done for the year. Now, I don't know if he's hurt for the year or making a career decision, which either one, at this point, I don't kind of blame the kid.
It is fascinating because it was a very nondescript injury. We just get lower leg injury, not broken leg, not ankle, foot, knee, just lower leg injury. But we know already he's out for the season. That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is sure.
Sounds like he was being carted off saying, I'm fucking done with this shit.
We had in August, boomer bust for Penn State. Is this the year they win the Big Ten? Is this the year they go to the championship game, win the championship game? Michigan did it 2 years ago. Ohio State did it last year. Most of the guys coming back. Boomer bust, and it's October 14th, and they're 3-3 with a coach fired. And obviously, for if people know college football, next year's recruiting class is jumping off the ship hour by hour. I mean, that's only obvious because they don't know who's going to lead them in the future. This is sloppy. Penn State's a really good program. I think it was time for him to go. I mean, the 4-21 against top ranked teams or top 10 teams, whatever, is rough. But like you said, you can kind of get over that when you win 10 games a year and you go to the playoff. Everybody's happy. Beaver Stadium is 100,000 plus every week. But the way it looked and the way the players gave up on the message, like you said, it's time.
You sent me a text that kind of summed it up. And obviously you weren't the only one to see this. The week against Oregon, you could sell nosebleed seats for $237. 3 weeks later, or I guess it's technically two weeks later, against Northwestern, those seats were $23. Literally 10% of the price from 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And that just tells you just everyone lost faith. And it clearly showed on the field, but obviously within the school, it's just as much. Like, obviously, that's 6 games into a season is really early. You think about this, Jay Norvell did not get fired. after starting last year. What, like 0-8?
Mike Norvell, Florida
Mike
State.
Norvell, sorry. Mike Norvell, sorry. His brother is actually a pretty good coach. Now that I think of Jay Norvell, he's
Colorado State,
something like that. Yeah. They're actually having a pretty good season. Yeah, you don't see it very often. We thought Norvell would get fired, and he didn't. And he was off to a good start until the last couple of weeks. But,
although that might start getting louder too.
Exactly, for the same friggin' reason, right? So we may be having the same conversation a week from now. But that's the difference, right? Like, you lose to Oregon, you lose to UCLA, you come home and you beat Northwestern by 30. Clearly, it shows you haven't lost your team. They're still fighting. They're still playing hard. But that wasn't the case, and it had to happen. Peter, it was bound to happen. And and one more thing, if I may, I started this off by saying we're the most accurate podcast on the internet. And you mentioned how we talked about boom or bust preseason, and both of us leaned more bust because we just didn't trust James Franklin in big games. And it proved to be true. When they were playing Oregon, neither one of us picked Penn State. Neither one of us thought Penn State would win that game. We both were like, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And we haven't. And then it just got worse from there.
Think of where we are Friday before the Oregon game. McAfee's doing his fucking show from the Penn State practice box. They have Franklin on, full of piss and vinegar. Drew Aller's on, 6'5", big kid, so excited about the next 24 to 48 hours. And then we sit there 2.5 weeks later, and the whole thing is
it's incredible.
Bonfire.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's eerie, number one.
Yeah.
It's the sport of college football now. And we'll get into a couple of coaches, one close to my heart in a little while that might be looking in the same ear soon. And yours as well, as you just mentioned with Norvell. With all the new rules, with the money and the easily to turn your team around, there's no time for fucking 8-4 anymore, man. Back to it's
yeah. And that may be the worst part.
It's a scary place to be. I agree.
He is an exceptional recruiter. Like, he has one of top 10 recruiting classes every single year. Yeah. And they spend money in NIL. And he brought in some nice players from the portal. So it's not like it was a lack of talent. This is not, some school. I don't know. I can't even think of some right now. Like, some school that just doesn't have the money, not bringing in the players, and we're asking you to, make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Right. This is like a very wealthy school with very wealthy donors. From what I understand, I think it's the owner of the Buffalo Bills is probably just going to pay the $49.5 million that's owed to James Franklin just to get him out the fucking door. And then he'll also contribute to the next head coach. So, like, it already looks like there's a spare no expense attitude moving forward. And maybe next week we can get into, like, who are some possible candidates. If they don't hire somebody by then, I don't think they will. It's just so early in the process or in a season. But yeah, I just, all those reasons, it came to a head, and just the collapse. When it's a collapse, it's over. You're kind of seeing that in Miami right now with the Dolphins. Like, there just seems to be a collapse going on. And I suspect if that continues to roll, that'll go the same way.
Are you shocked they actually pulled the trigger?
I'm going to say no for all the reasons that I said. If you just look at where we are, like October 15th, 13th, 14th, whatever the hell it is, it's really early. Like, it's really early in the season.
Yeah.
Like, they are a very talented team. So
but let me
it's a little surprising, but the way it went down, there's a lot of talent there. Yeah, there's a lot of just talented players.
Dude, they haven't looked good all year.
I really do put that at the feet of the coaching staff. I just really do.
They were in dogfights with Villanova.
I
was early on in the year. But that's why a lot of people were nervous about the Oregon game, because they haven't played anybody, and then not even that, they haven't even looked functionable.
But think about that. That Oregon game was nip and tuck. They had an opportunity to win.
It was late. It looked good. It looked bad early. But you know what I'm saying?
Like, they were in the game. They were never not in the game. So there's talent there.
But do they give a shit?
This is a disaster. That's the problem. Like, there's a difference between losing and then a disaster. Like I said, you could even get away with the UCLA loss because it's kind of like hidden.
I'm glad you brought that back up. Somebody said something before. Was it on McAfee? I think it might have been Herb Street on DP this morning. Something meta happened on that plane back from UCLA.
It totally makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. This is what I mean by, like, there's a difference between bad losses and then a coach loses the team. Like, so what do we always say on this show? Good teams, when they have bad losses, they usually come back with big wins. Like, we got to prove something. We got to prove who we are here, right? And when they don't, that's when questions really arise. Like, we're going to get into the Eagles versus the Giants this week, and there's questions. There's real questions now because the Eagles lost the previous week. So, like, that's the problem. Like, it's not the loss per se. It's how you react, how you follow up on that loss. And for fuck's sake, Penn State they obviously didn't follow up on the Oregon game, but I can even accept that loss. I can't, but I can understand it.
Yeah.
If you're just devastated, you just saw your national championship hopes go up in smoke. But then when you come home against Northwestern, for that game to even look the way it did, let's say Penn State got out to a 21-0 lead, and then just Aller gets hurt and Northwestern comes back and wins the game, I don't think he gets fired.
I think you're right.
I don't think he gets fired. It's the fact that it was a nip and tuck game in front of 100,000 people right from the jump. In fact, you were losing at
and
time.
Maybe 50,000 that looked like they were held hostage being
there. Yeah. So that's the difference. Like, it's how you lose too, not just that you lose.
Well, Penn State's got, I think that's a good idea next week. We'll maybe get into some candidates because there's some obvious ones out there, but then there's
some that I've heard that I didn't think of, that I don't know that I even like.
Same. I think both counts.
Yeah, we'll do a little more of a deep dive on that for next week.
To the NFL, we'll get back to college in a little while. You just mentioned the New York Giants 34, the Philadelphia Eagles 17. The Eagles have problems.
Yeah, so this is exactly what we're talking about, right? They lost the week before to Denver
Broncos.
And you think short week. So this is a video that I put out picking the Eagles -7. I had said buy the number from 7.5 down to 7. I said it's a short week with the Super Bowl champs against a rookie quarterback who just lost on the road last week. So like that's a recipe for Eagles to just roll. To just absolutely roll. And they came out flat as shit.
And for the second week in a row, no, they didn't. They Barkley's got 3 carries for like 35 yards. Like, oh man, it's gonna be a Barkley day. And then again, they start doing stupid shit.
Right.
Forcing AJ Brown.
I guess what I mean. Well, that's where there's shit
fucking
going
weird,
on there.
man.
Like, the defense is what let them down in this game. Like, Jackson Dart just throwing the ball all over the fucking place, like wide open guys and shit.
Like, trucking guys, like
with no weapons, no neighbors. It's just, I will tell you
Monty Toomer, no Plexico.
I will say that
guys don't walk through that door, man.
Between Jackson Dart and Scatabo, it is so I come back to this a lot. Mentality plays such a part in football. It's just different than other sports, right? Like, you got this kid who is just a fucking wrecking machine, running people over, not even just when he's carrying the ball. When he's a lead blocker, he's got pancake blocks on linebackers and shit. And you got Jackson Dart, who's kind of like a Josh Allen Jr. doing his crazy running around thing, scrambling and then making plays. There's juice there with the Giants, right? So there's something there. And it doesn't necessarily show up in the numbers, although Scatabo had really good numbers. He outrushed Saquon Barkley. But there are definitely some problems there. A.J. Brown's part of it. Of course, the questions are coming up again about Nick Sirianni. Like, is he a good coach? Which is so sick to me. The guy's been to 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls or 2 of the last 4, whatever the hell it is. Like, there's some issues there. I personally believe that those issues lie mainly 70% in the offensive line. This is just for years now. They've had top 5 last year, best offensive line in the league, and they're middle of the road now. They don't suck. It's not a bad offensive line. It's just not the best like it was. And you're seeing it cause problems because now that they're forced to throw more, Jalen Hurts looks mortal. See, when they're running the ball, when you got a 2,000 yard per season running back, play action pass is a bitch.
Yeah.
Because everybody has to play the run. Well, they're not that team now. And then on top of that, Jalen Hurts is missing guys that are just buck ass open, just wide open. And you can't have that. You can't. It's so rare that guys come wide open in the NFL. when you got guys wide open, you have to hit them. You have to hit them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a number of issues going on there.
Seattle Seahawks 20, Jacksonville Jaguars 12. Seattle road team again, man. They're great on the road.
Do you know what the number is? How many straight road wins they've got? How many straight road wins?
Straight, I don't know straight. I know they're like
9 straight road wins.
Bananas.
What?
Bananas.
What are you talking about? By the way, he's fucking jacked.
Mike, yeah, he's big.
Oh
yeah.
my God, I didn't know that. I guess I only saw him for the first time. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
he's got a powerlifting competition after the game he's got to get to. Holy shit.
Great win for the Seahawks. Bad loss for the Jaguars. Coming off the Monday nighter against the Chiefs. Again, sluggish. Lawrence again, though. 1 week good, 1 week bad. I mean, how long is this going to go on?
It's worse than that. He's up and down from possession to possession, quarter to quarter. It's disappointing. I can't go all the way to bust yet because
not yet.
He does good things sometimes, right? Bust, I think of you're just a disaster. You're just a disaster. But it is weird. It is weird. Seattle's a good football team, dude. They're a very good defensive football team with a defensive head coach, and that travels well. What we always say is all the time: running game and defense travels well.
Usually.
And they do those things both pretty darn well. So that's a really good win for Seattle.
Darnold playing well, not making the big mistake yet.
Dude, I remember back when he was on the Jets and when we were doing this podcast, it was like his rookie year. And I said to you, every once in a while, I see him make a throw that 3 or 4 guys in the league can make. And it's almost like you laugh at it because you're like, dude, he stinks. He made some fucking throws. I swear, like, perfect throws, great throws.
That deep post to Jackson Smith and Jigba was, oh my God.
He just made a number of throws, like with touch. There was one, it was like an out and up, and it was just a touch in between 2 defense. I mean, beautiful stuff. It looks to me, and I think I have settled on the fact that what we saw in Minnesota was not just a Minnesota thing. He has grown into that guy.
I tell you, that division going forward is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, really tough.
We have to bring it up. I know it's not an exciting game. Actually, it was like watching grass grow, but the Rams 17, Ravens 3, 1-5, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know who this game was worse for because the score for the Rams to only score 17 points against
sloppy game, win,
the worst defense
get out of there with the win. I don't care.
And then on top of that, the Rams lose Puka Nacua. I don't know how long.
For the 5th year in a row, this guy's always fucking hurt, man.
Banged up.
Catches it sucks.
But then I got to hear about how Baltimore is. What do they got, a bye week this week?
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll get Lamar back the week after.
I think some defensive guys as well.
You lost with Lamar at quarterback before, so there's problems. This is a bad football team.
They have to go. They have to go what?
10, well, we talked about it.
10-5.
They have to go 8-4 down the stretch, and that would get them 9 wins. We looked at it and we thought 8-4 looking at their schedule. And 8-4 is a pretty goddamn good run. You're 1-5 now. What indicator do we have that they're going to go 8-4? You're 1-5. How are you going 8-4?
I don't think that's happening, brother.
Like, come on.
I've been wrong before, but I don't think.
There are some weak teams in the schedule, but a 1-5 team has no right assuming wins. I don't care who you're playing, man.
Bro, they can't get off the field.
No.
They got lucky today because it was a fucking nor'easter over there.
Right. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
To my MVP favorite, I don't know about you, Tampa Bay 30 and Baker Mayfield, the Niners 19.
Speaking of a guy who is just throwing the utter shit out of the ball, man, he is making some throws.
And now he's throwing to 5, 6, 7 string guys here.
Yes. And this is where you get into the argument of like, I don't want to hear it, San Fran, that you're down some guys. I don't want to hear it, Cincinnati.
Baltimore.
I don't want to hear it, Baltimore. This he's not just winning games, folks. He's leading the league in like MVP percentage likelihood with 4th, 5th, and 6th stringers at his wide receiver position. They're going to get some guys back, both on offense and on defense. Look, I'm not going to say they're the best team in the NFC, but there's an argument that they're the best team in the NFC right now. or will be by the end of the season if they get as healthy as I think they're going.
I hope to God Baker stays healthy because I want to see this. I want to see him do this week in and week out. That run he had on 3rd and 12,
dude. Jim Nantz actually said he at one point as he had 2 defenders draped on him. Jim Nantz goes, well, he's not getting out of this one. Wait, yes, he is getting out of this one. And then he runs, breaks a tackle, and then dives for the first down. What are you talking about?
They show Nantz standing up in the booth. He got so excited.
It's crazy because he literally said he's not getting out of this one. Wait, yes, he is. Like, oh, my God. He's playing at a ridiculous level. Oh, by the way, he's making like $32 million. What a steal.
And then he got roughing a passer. And he got up and he just clapped and he gave like a fucking flex. And then his guys went and celebrated. Like, dude, I love being right. We were on this fucking 2 years ago.
At least.
Cleveland's got to be sucking their thumb going,
oh my God.
We let this guy out the goddamn.
Yeah, in Cleveland, they're wondering, is it Dylan Gabriel or is it Shedeur Sanders? You had your guy.
Oh, it's unbelievable, man.
And you know what's the worst part of that? He fully and completely embraced being in Cleveland. He didn't make it. I'm talking about Baker.
Dude.
He totally bought in.
He won a playoff game in Pittsburgh. Cleveland fans were probably jacking off in their cars in the parking lot.
Bro,
dude,
after having won 3 games in 3 years.
Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. And he has one weird year with losing Odell Beckham, whatever, and they let him go.
Oh, by the way, you're still paying Deshaun Watson.
Come on, man.
God.
What the fuck?
He's over there training to get ready to play or something.
Dude, there's some of these organizations in every sport that just cannot get out of their way. It's amazing.
No, it's awful.
Sunday night, Kansas City 30, Detroit 17, and it wasn't even that close, dude.
No.
Kansas City dominated this game start to finish. Here we go again, though, now. No penalties called on the Chiefs where they had multiple kind of situations here. The NFL, this is weird, dude. It's so annoying, and then that's why I couldn't get too excited yet. We can't bury them. And here they come, beating one of the best teams in the league in football. Detroit did some weird things. The first touchdown got called off the board because the guy was set. Like, run game couldn't get going. I guess Chris Jones got the wake-up call when he was being a little
should have. He was embarrassing the week before. Not just the week before, even
Mahomes played great, but I'm so sick of him dancing around. Fucking, and then they're starting to get some weapons back. Kelsey all of a sudden looks better when the guy spread the field. Look, Kelsey's open in the middle. Yeah, I don't like the way this is going, but that's life. But I had him in the pick, so
I still think there's some issues there. I'm not so big on like Rashee Rice coming back. Like somehow that's.
I agree with you on that one because I think they're pretty good the way they are now. But
yeah, like I'm just not there. By the way, Detroit has mounting injuries on defense.
Dude, what's going on there? Yeah, the secondary can't stay on. And they lost another guy that night too. Like,
yeah, so like I was never one to just bury Kansas City and say they're definitely not. Like, come on, as long as it's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I'm gonna at least hold out to bury them until it's official that they're not in the playoffs. But with that said, there's still issues. They're still not real great on the offensive line.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a long-ass season. Patrick Mahomes is going to get banged up because he's going to take so many hits. He's running the ball significantly more than we've seen him in the last 2 years because he kind of has to.
And that's scary.
And that's not what you want. Yeah. Exactly. No. Hey, look, it's a nice win. Beating one of the top teams at home, it's good. But it's not as clean and clear-cut as it might seem.
Monday night doubleheader, first one. Atlanta 24, Buffalo 14. Buffalo has issues as well.
Buffalo's just not good on defense. Like the reality, they're just not good on defense.
They're not good on defense, and Josh Allen played maybe the worst game I've seen him play in a long time.
It wasn't good. Multiple turnovers for a second time in the last 3 weeks.
And getting beat up back there, too. He had no time.
It does start to feel like he's taken a toll. It's taken like the runs and the hits are starting to take a toll because it's like he's lost like half a step. And it's like, well, a half a step matters when everybody else can run at 100 miles an hour. But I just think it's more of a defensive issue. They just don't stop anybody, man. Even like end of the game, crunch time. Atlanta had no fear. They were still throwing the ball with 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left.
Yeah, it wasn't like a veteran
almost threw an interception, but oh, by the way, He looks really good. I know he had a shit ass clunker against Carolina. I don't even know how to explain that looking back now, considering they beat Minnesota. They were, neck and neck with Tampa. They just beat Buffalo. Whatever we think of Buffalo, they're still a pretty good goddamn team. Atlanta's weird, but Atlanta's pretty good, man. Like, it's a pretty good team.
Bijan's fantastic.
He is such a good player. What a weapon. I did take him over 16.5 rushing attempts. Ka-ching. But I just they're a good looking team. I like the way they're playing. I just got to see them play better on the road.
I need more out of Pitts. London's great. Bijan's great. Algiers are a good backup, and they have time, which I love that.
Yep.
They finally woke up in Atlanta using both those guys there. Buffalo again, though, man. 2 safeties out. Milano's out again. Bosa's a ghost. Ed Oliver didn't do anything. Like, dude, it's something.
Yeah, the defense is just not good.
I got to tell you, and we said this early on. Hot seat, maybe McDermott. I know their schedule stinks, so they're going to make the playoffs. So let's not.
I'm going to say this, too. They've done this before. Where they don't look so great, and then back half of the season, they turn it on. So I
worry about Josh Allen.
You know what I'm sitting here curious about? With most of these teams, I look and I say, I see where the money's spent, and that's where the problem is. Outside of Josh Allen, where's the money being spent?
I know.
Because you're not spending it on wideouts. You're not spending it on anybody on defense.
Cook a little bit, right? In the summer.
But what are we talking? $14 million?
Yeah, I guess, right?
Like, I don't even, like, maybe they're paying their left tackle decent money, but like, you're not paying a $35 million wide receiver. You're not, I don't, it's just odd.
And they don't draft great either. Like,
it's okay.
Keon Coleman's been nothing.
Okay. Yeah, he's okay.
He's okay, but he's 5'1".
You drafted him as a 1, and he's not a 1.
Not even 3. You got Josh Palmer and the other guy. And,
I know Palmer is way more effective. No, you're right, man. I suspect they'll be okay, but you know, I feel like each week when we do this, we inadvertently have a theme, and you just kind of brought up the McDermott thing, and I'm wondering if the theme, like, for him, if the message is starting to collapse, if he's starting to lose the players. Like, I've heard this before, Coach. We need something new, and you're not getting it. And it's like, to your point, like, is the seat getting hot? It's been kind of hot for 2 years. So yeah,
Sean, give me a little Newt Rockney here. Let's go. The Jake Moody redemption game. Chicago Bears 25, Washington Commanders 24. Commanders, you were sleeping about fucking probably bartenders and bourbon at this point, but the Commanders
on the bartender.
That's very fair. The Commanders had this game wrapped up 3rd and 4. They ran a little zone read, and the ball slipped out, like Coach Knut said, like a wet sausage. And the Bears recover, and the rest is history.
Yeah. I don't want to say I told you so, but I kind of told you so with Jaden Daniels, right? Like, second year is always tough. I'm not going to call it I'm not going to call it a
sophomore slump
or anything like that, but it's hard to reproduce that kind of magic that he had last year. And look, we recognized last year and this year, it's not a very good defensive team. And that bothers me because your head coach is a defensive-minded coach and your defense stinks. And this is kind of how it ended with Atlanta back in the day. Hello. So this is not a good sign. And, this is what I'm saying. Like, is Washington a good team? What indicator do we have that they're a good team other than everybody thought preseason that they could be a contender because of what Jaden Daniels did last year? You're not taking the whole picture into account then, dude. They were like 27th worst defense last year. So, and you're just expecting a second-year quarterback to be as good as he was in a magical first-year run. Like, come on, man. It's just so.
Me and my buddy at work say this all the time, too, because we're both big fantasy players. The fucking holdout. Look at McLaurin. What do you miss? His 3rd game in a row now?
Yep. And he's hurt. Exactly. It happens especially
wide
receivers.
Every guy.
Especially wide receivers. Yeah. And it hurts. It hurts. You can see it hurts. They were way more explosive first couple games than they have been in the last few weeks. But you're right. They had it. They made the comeback. They had the lead. They had the ball. And you cannot cough it up. You can't do that. And that's when the luster starts to wear off a little bit and people start to ask, what's going on? Maybe last year, blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff. One
quick thing before we move on to this week. I want to give a shout out to Aikman and Buck. They don't get a lot of love. Buck's annoying. I get the whole everyone hates them. They're tremendous. And I don't
They're
listen
tremendous.
to them much. When there's a Manning cast, I usually go that route. Listen to them last night. Aikman is he's been doing this, 25, 20? He's fucking awesome, dude.
You know what's good about him, too? He gives no shits.
None.
So he'll say whatever he feels. He's not going to be told by broadcast companies what to say, what not to say. He went off 2 weeks ago. I can't remember the subject, but it was kind of a big deal on the internet about what he was talking about. It might have been the officiating, or it might have been just something overall in the league. There's been a number of times where he's like, this is the dumbest rule in the history of this sport. I can't stand what it's turning into. Like, he does not care, and I'm here for it. I like it because I think every time he does one of those rants, I agree.
And I think the NFL looks into it a little bit more every time he goes on.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback with 3 championships who you have as one of your premier broadcasters. Maybe you should listen to him a little bit.
Very good. Yep. I just want to give them their props because I know they get shit on a lot. But
I just have one thing I wanted to bring up. Patriots look pretty good. I'm just saying. And then Drake May, 261 passing yards and 3 touchdowns on 18 for 26. That's, you know what that says to me? That's not think and dunk. That's pushing the ball down the field.
And he is. He's got
a
ball. Yeah.
He does. He's got a strong arm. And I'll tell you what, man, you talk about quick growth. It's been pretty impressive. And I'll just come back again. Coaching freaking matters.
I was going to say,
Vrabel has already changed the environment, changed the whole culture there. It's a hell of a thing, man. It's really wild. But Drake May looks pretty impressive to me.
Vrabel. And now you get Josh McDaniels doing what he does best. OC, 2 adults in the room, and look at May's progression. The defense is playing great. Bend but don't break.
Yeah. And on the other side, you get the Titans head coach who gets fired.
I mean, what are they doing?
It seems a little quick to me, but
I don't think so.
I just want to say this. If you're going to fire him this early, you should have fired him last year. If you thought so little and that you're going to fire him in basically week 5, week 6, then why'd you bring him back?
So, I think it was McAfee before or yesterday, whatever it was. Let Vrabel go. Let Derrick Henry go. Trade him. Trade A.J. Brown. Bring in this fucking idiot.
And the GM.
And the GM. Carthon. Yeah, Rand Carthon. Yep.
Well, they brought in Rand Carthon. I'm saying you got rid of the GM. By the way, you did them all.
Yeah, but they fired Rand Carthon already too. But they fire Rand Carthon, they leave this guy there.
Yeah.
Like, it's sloppy. It's messy. That's bad news for me for Cam Ward. That's not what you want to see with a rookie quarterback.
No.
New coach, game 7.
Now it's
guess who comes to town this week? Mike Vrabel.
I know.
Is that amazing?
Of course it goes that way. As the owner, don't you look and you say, hey, maybe not this week because Vrabel's coming to town.
Well, what if they put a 50 burger on him? Then it would have been really fucking bad.
God almighty.
All right, buddy.
That's all the other one I had, yeah.
Thursday night, I wrote this one down because it's an interesting little thing now with Grandpa Joe Flacco in town. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals second half showed some signs of life offensively.
They did. And let's be real. Joe Flacco can still sling it, man. If you give him a couple seconds.
And that's what he's there for. Honestly,
you just sling it.
Get Chase and Higgins the ball so they don't quit on you. And that's what he's there for. And I think at home with the Steelers, that game might get scary, dude.
There were multiple throws where he just closed his eyes. He said, Chase is over there. Shing! Whatever happens.
Chase on 4th and 5, you just do it. And Chase just stuck to his shoulder pad and fell backwards. Like, oh, shit.
It's incredible. It is incredible. Yeah, it's interesting because even at 5-1, you don't have a lot of confidence in the Steelers, right? Like you just and they're playing well. And Aaron Rodgers looks
4-1. I think they had a bye already.
4-1. Sorry,
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers looks comfortable. You know, he looks comfortable. He looks like he's happy. He's quiet, which is unbelievable. Got to give some credit to Mike Tomlin.
Oh, yep, very quiet.
So they're playing well, but who'd they beat? You know, where are their wins? And it's just you're waiting for something to happen. Plus, you know, recency bias. Last year, they got off to a 4-2 start, and Russell comes in and they win a few games, and then they shit the bed. So you're wondering once that schedule gets tougher, what happens, right?
And same thing. Their schedule does get tough at the end of the year.
Yes, absolutely.
NFL does them no favors.
No.
in London. I think this is the last London game. I don't know, but I hope it is. Oh my
I
God.
hope so. Although I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate waking up and being able to watch football immediately. It's not, but it's just usually garbage.
Just personally for me and you, and especially after Michigan got their ass kicked Saturday night, I have to wake up to this fucking Jets fucking Rocco pillow fight. I want to fucking kill myself at some point.
It was not awesome.
I was so stressed out I couldn't make a Bloody Mary. I was so fucking weird about losing to the Jets. Rams versus the Jaguars. Good game record wise here. Rams come in without Puka. Jaguars
4-2 versus 4-2.
I think it is.
Yeah,
Jaguars come in a little up and down as per usual.
both of them are. Both of them are a little up and down, right?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But the Rams did lose. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
They just lost 2 weeks ago to
The
to
Niners.
49ers.
Yeah,
The 48ers.
44.
They're so banged up, man.
I have no idea. I don't know where this game's going to go. I'll be up watching it. No, I won't be up watching because I'll be in Denver. I'll be sleeping. But no, that's a different point. I'll wake up to a score.
Yeah, as far as predictions, all I would do is take the first half under 24.5. But other than that, with these European games, I just you just don't know how these teams travel and how they wake up in the morning. It's just way too unpredictable. You mentioned Denver and the Jets last week. Like Denver should have shit on the Jets. They should have shit on the Jets.
Absolutely, they should have.
It's just you're traveling from fucking the Rockies to England. Like, I don't know how you're going to respond to that. I don't love it. I don't love it. So as far as predictions, who knows? Stay away.
You see what the Rams are doing now? They painted Camden Yards outfield. 20 yards on the right field side, 50 yards from left field to center to get practice in, and then they're going to go to London, I guess, Friday.
Is that what they're doing?
That's what they're doing. Because they stayed in Baltimore. I don't know. That's
like, is that comfortable?
No, there's no way of doing this fucking.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and they used to do the bye weeks after that. Now they're not doing that anymore. Like,
I just find this so unfair to the players because not every player has to go over there. And if you're not going over there, it's such an advantage. And if you do go over there, it's total disadvantage.
You have to play one every 4 years or every 3
I don't
years.
know. I don't know. I could be honest with you, I have no idea what the rules are.
Something like that. But it feels
just shitty.
But then the Jaguars play their fucking 3 times a year, twice
every year. Yeah, every year because their owner is a Brit. So whatever. I know what they're trying to do. It's the same thing they're trying to do with Bad Bunny. They don't give a shit about your current fan base that isn't going anywhere. You're just trying to expand your fan base. I guess sooner or later there's going to be a game played on Mars because you need Martians to watch the fucking game. It's just like, I don't know, man. Can you take care of your people? Can you take care of your people first and try to attract other people secondary? I don't know.
Just real quick off topic, your guy, wrestler guy, the guy that they had an Australian match last week.
Yes. That shit was 8:00 in the morning.
And the guy was complaining about fatigue. He's been in for 2 weeks and he got right. It's just not stupid.
Yeah.
The Eagles go to the Twin Cities and play the Vikings. I will have something to say about this game later.
I may as well. But I think this is a huge game for the Eagles, to be honest with you. To lose to Denver is one thing. It was a close game. You kind of let them creep back in the game and it happens. Okay. To lose to the Giants is a friggin' disaster, an absolute disaster. Rookie quarterback with no weapons on a short week, and you don't score a point in a second half? What? So I think this is a big game. If the Eagles lose this game to Carson Wentz, by the way, and JJ's not back, right?
That's
undetermined.
That's undetermined.
TBA. First of all, if Carson Wentz is starting, I am whole hog rooting for Minnesota because I just love the narrative behind that. But if they lose this game, no matter who's starting, it's 2 years ago all over again. It's 23 all over again when they went on a 7-game losing streak. Or 6 or 7 games, whatever the hell it was. And down here in Philly country, oh my God, dude. Yeah, people will lose their minds.
Keep your windows, folks.
So yeah, they have to put a good effort forward. I suspect they will.
The Indianapolis Colts go to LA for the second time in about 3 weeks. Colts at the Chargers. Colts keep chugging along here, closer with the Cardinals at home. But weird start to that game. Did you see the pregame? 2 injuries in the pregame for the Colts.
So
What
weird.
is
A concussion
happening
and
there?
I don't know, an eye
And,
injury.
and a band snapped and hit the guy in the eye. Like,
What the hell? So
Dude.
yeah, weird. I actually thought that was a good win for the Colts because they clearly weren't playing their best. They clearly weren't playing as good as they had been playing in all the games.
Worst they played defensively by
And
far. Yeah.
still got the win, right? So I think that's a nice one. I think this is a tough spot though. After that to go on the road to LA. The only saving grace here is that Chargers are also so banged up, and the crowd there is not your, how would you say, the loudest, most supportive crowd for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not going to be, a terrible place to play. But it is funny. You don't totally trust the Colts, and it's probably because of Daniel Jones. But if you watch the games, I tell you what, man, he is throwing the shit out of the ball and looks really good. I mean, really good.
I guess that shows you how bad the Giants O-line was when he was there.
It really
he looked so comfortable back there.
It's amazing.
He even lets guys come at him, throws that it's
now here's some blasphemy for you.
Fan.
This is a totally blasphemous thing to say, especially considering what our thought process has been over the last couple of years. But does it say something about Daboll?
It has to, right?
The quarterback guru, right? The Mr. I built Josh Allen, or did he?
Starts off to a great start, but it's 3 starts. We'll see this week too. It has to. It has to.
It has to a little, because this is this looks like the Daniel Jones that was at Duke. The kid that got picked in the top 10, like a top pick. That's what I'm seeing right now. Comfortable, confident. How many times do we talk about decision making, how quickly you process and letting it rip, right? Like that confidence to just that's what you see in him. See decisiveness.
So when Jones had Barkley healthy, he was better, obviously.
It was his best year.
And now Jonathan Taylor looks like the best back in the league through 6 weeks. So that also
helps. Offensive line is where.
Oh, really and Quentin Nelson's going to the fucking Hall of Fame on rollerblades, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Washington Commanders at the Dallas Cowboys.
They have all new questions after last night, right?
Fucking short losses.
Yeah.
Dallas's defense, but then, like you said, the Commanders' defense isn't good either. So
I'm watching that Dallas game last week. I have never seen in an NFL game half a dozen times, guys, wide receivers wide open. We talk about a guy's open if he's open by 2 feet. Half a step, you're open.
7 yards, these guys are open.
7, 8 yards, guys wide open in the NFL. I'm like, what is going on here, dude? I never seen anything like it.
There were two throws where I thought Bryce Young was throwing the ball away. I'm like, what's he doing? And the guy's seeing, what the fuck?
There's nobody in the screen. There's nobody in the TV screen. I got a 60-inch wide TV, and there's no Cowboys in the screen where the wide receiver is. How the hell?
Bryce, it's third down. Oh my God, where is everybody?
Oh my God, it's so true. On the other side, though, Dak is playing really well.
Locked in.
I don't know if CD's coming back this week. We'll see. We're doing this on a Tuesday, so it's a little early for us to give you like the health updates. But I love how he's playing. And so they do look good offensively. But God, I don't know if it's the worst defense in the league, but it sure looks like the worst defense in the league.
It's up there. Yeah.
Washington's isn't much better, though.
That's true. The Atlanta Falcons at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers lost. You want to talk about another star defender?
Oh, my God.
That sucks. He's such a great player.
Fred Warner? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
He's so good.
Your foot should not go that way, sir.
No.
I got to tell you, Atlanta off a huge win. Short week, though. San Fran just holding on by the seams here, man. Even Mac Jones is limping around back there.
He's limping around, but he looks good. He's really throwing the ball well, making good decisions, putting the ball in really tight.
He throws some good touch ball, too.
Yeah. He's looked really good. This is one of those games that I'm looking at Atlanta, and I say, you want to convince people that you're legit? You want to convince people that you're a good team, that you're a playoff team, that you're a contender? This is a game you got to go win. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if Penix throws for 120 or 320. I don't care if Robinson rushes for 60 yards or 300 yards. You got to find a way to win this game. You got to find a way to win this game. San Fran is so banged up.
Yep.
They're just so banged up. You got to find a way to win this game. You just have to. You win Atlanta wins this game. You go, okay, okay, we got a little something here. They lose this game, we go, yep, same old. Nothing's
Yeah,
changed.
I know.
Nothing's changed.
Monday nighter. 2 Monday nighters. I'm only gonna circle one unless you want to have something to say about the other one. Tampa Bay at Detroit. Again, Tuesday, we have no idea what receivers are in and out for Tampa Bay defensively either. I think this is a big game for Detroit because I think this is
agree.
I'm not saying Tampa's going to lay this game down, but they could afford to lose this one where Detroit cannot.
Tampa's definitely been playing kind of with house money, right? Like they got multiple fourth quarter comeback wins. Even this game against San Fran was close for most of the game. Like I got to give San Fran a lot of credit for hanging in there for most of this game. But the interesting thing is it's Tampa of the two teams. It's Tampa who's been more consistent. It's Detroit who's been up and down, right? And with the problems that they've had on defense again, God, it sucks too because they really started the season off first few games looking significantly better defensively. And then these injuries start to mount. And it's like, what the hell are you going to do, man? I mean, what can you do, right? You just got to roll with it and do the best you can. Rely on that offense. Tampa has some injuries too. They have some injuries on defense. Maybe Detroit can take advantage of it, but I agree with you 100%. This is a bigger game for Detroit than it is for Tampa. Tampa would like to win the game. Detroit needs to win the game.
Yeah, well said. Personally, just for me, Giants at the Broncos. I will be there going to Denver this weekend.
Nice. That's awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I think it's going to be fun going with Mac, Giant fan. Giants coming off an ultimate high, man. A couple extra days to prepare.
Absolutely.
Broncos coming off a low and a fucking long trip back. This game scares me a little bit.
It should.
But as we know in the gambling world, when everyone thinks one team and everyone thinks the other team is going the other way, it usually flips on its ass. So I'm hoping that's the case. Sean Payton needs to be better here. He should really start thinking about giving up the play calling duties to the OC. He has not been good.
That is not going to happen.
Bo Nix was cooking that first half, and then in the second half, they got him doing these fake pitch rollouts, throwing screens back the other way. What are you doing? It's the Jets. Yeah. Fucking kill them. Thank God for their defense. Their defense is excellent. So I think Jackson Dart and Scatterbo, we'll see how great they are this weekend.
Yeah, I look at this kind of how I looked 2 weeks ago. Rookie quarterback on the road, hostile environment. I think it's a big ask for the Giants. It's a pretty big spread. What is it? 7.5, 8.5?
7. I think it's 7 right now, but it could be.
Yeah, it's a pretty big spread for a team that's played pretty well. I think they should take care of business there.
Everything else?
I do. I like to look for interesting games, you know that, and I kind of spoke about how Atlanta has to really get a win here in San Francisco to legitimize themselves as contenders. Look, Carolina right now is sitting at 3-3. Okay, now we think of them. Now, both of us kind of thought they'd be improved this year. There have been games that they look like absolute trash, and then there's games where they look pretty damn good. And I don't know who's going to show up, but what I know is they're 1.5-point favorites on the road at the Jets. And you say, okay, well, Carolina, show us that you're an ascending team. And then what do I always say to you? Trust me, the Jets are looking at Carolina as a target that they can beat also. Only thing that scares me is Aaron Glenn's just stubbornness and sticking with Justin Fields, who threw for a grand total net of negative 10 yards last week because he got sacked for more yards than he threw for. 45 passing yards. I texted one of my buddies. I said, that's a pretty good quarter. That was for the game, folks. Yeah, negative 10 yards. So to me, let's see, Carolina, can you go on the road, kind of hostile environment because Jets fans always show up and they're kind of scumbags. Let's see if you can get a win there and show us that you really are an ascending team. Because this past week, they kind of looked it. They kind of looked the part, so we'll see. And then you kind of mentioned it a little bit, Patriots at Titans. Vrabel going home. So that's one side of it. And then the other side of it is we always or often see the fired coach team feels better bump. So do we get something, a little positive juice working there for the Titans because, ding dong, the witch is dead and they can move on past their old coach. So we'll see about that one.
College football, week 7. We talked about it before. Northwestern 22, Penn State 21. I feel like we said everything we need to say there. Bad loss. Good win for the Wildcats, but
sure. Oh, by the way, I think they're 4-2.
I think they're 3-3.
3-3? Is that what it is?
So, but
I thought they had a winning record, but you're probably right.
maybe you might be right. I'll get this out of the way. USC 31, Michigan 13. It was ugly from the start. This game, Michigan, the big bad bully on the line of scrimmage, was anything but that. I understand. I didn't have this game as a win before the season, but the way it looked was bad.
First time they were dominated this year.
They still won't let Bryce be Bryce, which is really starting to piss me off through 6 weeks. And even they lost their star running back, and they still won't let the kid fucking go. The Cyril Moore thing is really starting to bother me.
Does that tell you something, though? That maybe they don't have the faith in him that you have?
Well, we can't find out unless we see it.
I mean, that's fair.
And again, I'm not there every day, but the flashes I see, I mean, come on, man. Especially you got to outscore USC, and you weren't doing that run. You're not. The thing that me and my Michigan buddies were saying, like the thing that really bothered me for the first time under Wink is they look totally lost on defense.
Yeah, that's what I mean by it's the first time I've seen them dominated. Like even if you look at the Oklahoma game, it was a physical, tough banger.
Yeah. They could not get off the field. The screen game was killing them. They have a lot of work to do this week, man, because Washington's coming in as a big game this week too.
Give some credit to USC too. Like they played well, protected their quarterback, looked good at the wide receiver position. They had some nice wide receivers there. Ran the ball actually better than I think anybody has this year against Michigan. So
yeah, it absolutely did. Yeah, listen.
I think it's more of a laid an egg than it is. This is who Michigan is. But still,
multiple laid eggs, you don't like start to get a little worrisome. But we'll see.
Yeah,
back to work, but not great. Indiana, the biggest win in school history.
No, without question.
Indiana 30.
By the way, biggest win of am I out of line here? Biggest win of any team of the year?
No, you're not out of line there. No way. No way.
Yeah. So
Indiana 30, Oregon 20.
And it's the score. They outplayed them in every way.
And he hit to a pick six, and he came back and just was firing balls at will again. Like
he's good.
He's good. He's great. He's not great, but he's good.
No, he's very good though. And there's moxie there. I don't know if you saw the post-game interview.
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
not shy.
Wide receiver. Yeah.
He's not shy. Yeah,
which I like, but not overly arrogant.
No. There's a difference between confident and cocky and confident and arrogant. You know, like he's confident and sure of himself. You have to be that as a quarterback. This is the decisiveness that I always talk about. You know, just say, that's my guy. Boom, I'm letting it rip. Not like, oh, I'm not sure. Too late. Like, that's not him. It's like, that's my guy. I'm letting it rip. And I like that. And frankly, to be honest with you, that is a kind of a representation of his head coach, Cignetti. Like, that guy is a confident guy, does not give any fucks about what he says ever. And his team is starting to represent him. And I got to give him a lot of credit. They went out and spent some money, brought in some nice wide receivers. That's a good football team, dude. I don't care who you are. If you're Ohio State, if you're Alabama, if you're Georgia, if you're Washington Huskies, if you're USC, if you can go into Oregon in that place against that team and win the way they did, that is a really good football team. There was a lot of cries last year that Indiana didn't deserve to be in the 12-team playoff. That shit is done. But this is one of the best teams in the country. There's no doubt about it. And they really are kind of a reflection of their head coach right now.
Any whispers about Dan Lanning being a choker?
I don't think I would go there.
Might be a strong word.
Yeah, because let's be fair, he did beat Ohio State last year
in October, which nobody gives.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's a good win. That was a team that won a national championship, and you beat them.
So did Michigan, who won fucking 7 games. But
we're not talking about Michigan.
I'm just saying, but they're fucking
Wolverine.
No, I'm just saying they were terrible when they beat Ohio State. So let's not go that. I don't know if he shines in big spots. Is that maybe? I mean, he's on game day doing the fucking taking a shirt off in the morning. Like,
here's the problem.
Lose a game after that, man.
Here's the problem. If you remember Lou Holtz when he was the head coach of Notre Dame, in pregame interviews, he would talk about Navy. Yeah. Like they were the best team they had faced all year. And I lost sleep last night worrying about how we're going to stop. Like Lanning is the opposite. he's kind of brash and kind of loud and very vocal and very like animated on the sideline and stuff like that. And he's young, so I get it. But I think that kind of lends itself to what you're thinking right now. Like, dude, you talk a lot, but you don't always come through. I think they do come through a lot, but they also don't. So, big games are tough, dude. It's tough to, it's tough. So, I mean, he just went in a week before and beat Penn State at Penn State. So you got to give him some credit.
Yeah, but we just talked about
Well, now, yeah. But I think this is more about Indiana, to be honest with you. I don't think Oregon like played bad.
They didn't play great. Second half, they weren't great.
But I just think
Dante Moore couldn't do anything in the second half.
I think that has something to do with Indiana.
They got 3 All-Americans on each side, each phase of that ball. D-line, linebacker, and corner.
Who does Oregon?
Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
They got some studs, man. They really do. And Cincinnati can coach his ass off. I don't know what he does.
He's a fantastic motivator, dude.
Quotient, dude.
He's an excellent motivator, and he's an excellent recruiter. Like I said, he recruited some portal guys, so that has a lot to do with it. And I'm going to tell you this, like, he was one of the names I've heard already for Penn State, and I'm thinking, why on earth would he fucking do that? He has created something very special here. I think it could get better, actually, which is crazy to say.
I don't think he goes there.
I don't think so either. I think he likes the idea of being able to have a chip on his shoulder and say, nobody believes in us. You can't say that when you're at Penn State. Nobody believes in us.
I told my buddy Tom, I think he wants the smaller place.
Yes, I think it fits him very well.
However, though, on the other side of it, he's 64. If he ever wanted that job, he's running out of time. So a job like that.
I mean, that's a fair point. Anyway, I think he's done a really good job. He's taken the long road to get here. Like you said, he's in his 60s. This is not a 40-something-year-old. Like, so it's an impressive job that he's done there. And what they've turned into the last 2 years, you got to give him a shit ton of credit for it. I mean, it's just really something else. It's goddamn Indiana, dude.
I know.
This is not like football country. This is basketball country.
When the first press conference last year, Big Ten in July, when all the coaches meet, and he's up there Googling me, I just who the fuck is this guy? Like, holy people, you're in Indiana, and then he
backed it up.
Yep, he did.
Backed it up.
Texas 23, Oklahoma 6 in the Red River rivalry.
It's easier to say with a W. If you just go Wed Wibble Wivelwee, it's easier that way.
Yeah, it's more fun, especially with a few bourbons in you. However, I turned this game off. This game was awful football, man. Oh, my God.
Give Arch Manning some credit. He played pretty well at times. There were still times that he doesn't look good, but against that defense,
sure.
Hit some nice throws, had a nice touchdown pass back of the end zone, and I give it more the decision in finding him because it wasn't his primary receiver than it wasn't a throw. The throw was pretty easy because the guy was left wide open, but the fact that he found them was impressive to me. He just looked a little more comfortable, looked a little more steady. Still not great. He's not a pro. He's not. No. I would not if he came out this year. I think it'd be a monster mistake, and I would not suggest any team draft him because there's a long way to go for him to. I think what was more disappointing was Mateer. I know he had the thumb injury, but I think I was just disappointed in the offensive line because they couldn't open any holes. And I don't think this Texas defense is good at all. They couldn't open any holes for a running game. The whole running game was Mateer, and he just couldn't get off. And he kind of turned into what we thought. Like, you're a bit of a gunslinger, which means there's going to be turnovers with that. And we got him in this game. Some of them were pretty bad. So I think, what do you have? Three interceptions?
I think so.
I think he had 3.
What I mean? I turned it off. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw 2.
But you got to I give Texas some credit. This was a good win coming off of the Florida loss where they looked really atrocious. Arch looked really atrocious against a good defense there. And you thought, hey, Oklahoma's a good defense. He's still going to look bad. I thought he would. And they played better. So give Sark some credit here, too.
Mistake playing Mateer?
I don't think so. It didn't look like the thumb was an issue. I just think he couldn't get a second to throw the ball. Like, Texas did a great job of getting pressure on him every time he dropped back. Wasn't a lot of opportunities there.
It's such a week-to-week fucking league.
Is, dude. It so is. And in college football, more than the pros, playing on the road, I know this was kind of a road game for both teams.
It's neutral site.
But just not playing at home, we'll put it that way, not playing at home, that's where the crapshoot is. That's where most of the big upsets are, even though Indiana went and did it at Oregon. So that's what made that one so special.
Yeah, for sure.
So usually the upsets come with a good team who's on the road. I thought the better team lost this game.
Good one in the noon slate in Columbia, Missouri. Alabama 27,
Yes.
Missouri 24. Ty Simpson's no joke.
He's really good. He's really good. I hope he doesn't come out this year. I hope he stays one more year.
I don't know if he has eligibility left, does he?
I thought he does. I thought they were talking about it during the game. I thought he does. If he does, I think it's best if he comes back.
He's got like a good presence, poison, big kid.
Great decision maker, though, man. Excellent processing. He finds the open guy, and man, accuracy, put it in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like shit. I like him a lot. I have him like top 3 right now.
Kalen DeBoer shut some people up, huh?
A little. It is Missouri. 2 things can be true.
Missouri's top 15 team.
I was about to say 2 things can be true at the same time. Alabama's not what it used to be, and Missouri's
that's fair.
Missouri's pretty good. Missouri's a pretty good football team, folks. They have that's a pretty good football team there with a pretty good coach.
Obnoxious.
I think a lot of these guys are getting this way. It seems like everybody's taking the Lane Kiffin route, even though Lane Kiffin doesn't take the Lane Kiffin route anymore, of where you got to make some noise to draw some attention for you. This is probably the worst one.
I would say
at home, Pittsburgh. You go on the road, you get shocked by Virginia. Okay. Lose at home to Miami. Miami's a good football team. Okay. This is the fireable offense. This is the James Franklin game. Like, you can't look this good to start the season. Florida State's back. They're fast. They're good. Beat Alabama. And then you're going to lose at home to Pitt? It just screams you lost your team, dude. What
happened to the Fire the first couple of weeks? What happened?
That's the $1 million question, right? It might be the $40 million question if that's the buyout for Norvell.
You want Deion if they fire?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
there was a time for that. I think the luster has worn off that one.
I
think the shine has worn off on that one. Sorry.
I agree with you.
That's a spot where I would love to see them go after Signetti. That would be kind of cool.
He's not there.
If I'm him, I would totally consider that. Tons of money.
Florida State's almost a blue blood, bro. He's not going there.
Tons of money. South, stay nice and warm as you get older. No, but it stays nice and warm in Florida.
He looks like a guy that has a log cabin in North Dakota to me. I don't know if he's a.
He's not a handsome man.
No, he's got like weird shit going on with his feet. He's like, yeah.
A couple games like that.
There's some times, man, when I'm watching like press conference, he doesn't blink for like 4 minutes.
Dry eyeballs.
It's fucking weird, man.
Get this guy some Visine. How about UCLA with another big win in Big Ten play? UCLA 38-13.
Scored again, by the way.
Unbelievable. Not Rick Neuheisel, but I think it's his kid.
Jerry Neuheisel.
At offense quarter, clearly making a difference here because they can't be stopped on offense. This one's just ugly as shit. Houston goes to Oklahoma State and wins 39-17. Oklahoma State. What has happened, man? What has happened? A good win for Nebraska against Maryland, 34-31. You
might want to apply for the Oklahoma State job. You might be able to get a call back.
Dude, I don't think anybody else is going to apply. That's the problem. So I might even get it. Nebraska gets some credit for that win. 10-0 in the fourth quarter. So nice little comeback to get the win there. But it was a good game overall, by the way. But a nice win for Nebraska. And then, speaking of coaches who are likely to get fired at the end of the season, Iowa on the road, that offensive juggernaut, Iowa, 37-0 against Wisconsin. Hold on, Wisconsin. You don't get to say we were looking forward to the Ohio State game because you don't want to play that game. Iowa, 37-0 over Wisconsin. He's getting fired. It's over.
Wow.
Rough one.
That's a program, too, that used to be so prideful. They're in trouble because they don't have big NIL. They don't have a huge.
I don't know what kind of NIL they got because again, it's a huge school, man. It's the sheer number of people. I don't know if there's any billionaires that went to Wisconsin.
Wappet or why you get his wallet out here?
No kidding.
Peter, week 8's upon us. I can't believe we are flying through the season here.
I hate when we start getting later in the season. You can already see the end.
It's fucking unbelievable. But there's still a lot of fireworks to be played.
Lot to go.
Friday night, Louisville at number 2, Miami. I wrote this game down because this is a game.
You worry about a little trap game here?
This is the game that Mario always seems to fuck around with. Home game, Friday night. it's not a Saturday afternoon when nobody's there.
No marquee. Yeah.
Louisville good coach, good quarterback. But Miami is coming off a bye. That does help them, I think, a
It
little
definitely
bit.
helps.
So
it would be a shocker, but you make some really good points. You make some really good points. The kind of game where you mail it in, and you just can't mail it in. So
there's a game a couple years ago, Friday night game, when they were playing Georgia Tech, I think, and
this is the kind of game.
They fumble late, and they come. Yeah, this is it.
Well, Louisville's thinking, let's sneak up on them. Let's get off to a fast start. Let's see what happens. I just don't know if they have the juice to stop that Miami offense.
I think you're probably right, but we'll see if Mario and the Hurricanes are for real, I think, here. Just get your job done. Just get the job done.
You have no faith in Cristobal whatsoever.
I mean, he's got a little Jimmy Franklin in him to me. I don't like we'll see. To Nashville we go. The number 10 LSU Tigers at the Vanderbilt Commodores.
I think this is a very interesting game. Vanderbilt is really good. Pavia is a really good quarterback. He's got a little scataboo kind of attitude in him.
Manziel a little bit. Can you say that?
I wouldn't go that far because I just think of
he's not
wild man out of control. Yeah, there's that. I just like he's tough. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder. He's tough. And there's just something about LSU this year. Like they're winning games. They won last week against South Carolina 20-10.
Terrible.
It's just not impressive. They had good wins, but not impressive wins. And now, as you look back, that Clemson win doesn't even look as great as it did week 1 because Clemson's not what we thought they were going to be this year. So LSU's going on the road. Vanderbilt is a good football team. They went nose to nose at Alabama 2 weeks ago. This is a good football team. This is one of those programs, by the way, they got money because they got wealthy folks that graduated from Vanderbilt. And if they're going to spend money and bring in players, look out. Look out. All your traditional schools Bama doesn't have Vandy money. I'm just telling you right now, Bama does not have Vandy money. So be careful. Do not be shocked. I always say this, right? It's not a prediction. It's just a warning. Do not be shocked if Vanderbilt pulls off the upset in this game.
You want my sneaky pick for Penn State? Vanderbilt guy.
Clark. You're going to go back-to-back Vanderbilt coaches?
Oh,
I can't do that on principle. I can't do that on principle.
Good catch.
I can't do it on principle.
But somebody's going to get out.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach. He's a good coach.
I was going to say something else about that game. Oh, do me a favor. Write this down for me for like next August when we're going to do our things. Remind me never to do fucking Heisman favorites again. All 6 guys that were Heisman favorites in Vegas sucked.
Done.
Right? Arch.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Klubnik. This guy who Nussberger. Whatever.
Who's the favorite right now?
It's got to be Mendoza, right? He went in Oregon and won.
You're probably right, but if he is, it's by
Ty Simpson. I know
it would be Mendoza over him right now.
State quarterback, he's not lighting it up. I mean, he's winning games,
and it can't even. It's not even the Ohio State. It's not even the wide receiver from Ohio State.
No, that can't be.
It's just been good, not great. So it's a weird year right now. There's no clear. Yeah,
I would have said Dante Moore if they won that game, but he didn't look good either. So.
No, he didn't look good.
Drew Aller cost himself some money too. Like it just, oh my God.
I actually think money-wise, he'll be fine because I think he's more of a pro quarterback than what they were using him as.
I heard that too. I heard that Penn State.
I just don't think they were using him right. They're doing RPOs and shit like that, and he's Herbert. He's Justin Herbert. Like, what are you doing? So
good one between the hedges. Number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia.
Yeah, so to me, this is a classic spot where Lane Kiffin shits the bed. They just typically can't handle this game, but maybe this year's different. They beat LSU this year, so maybe this is different this year. The one thing I can say about Ole Miss that's a little different than in seasons past, they have a pretty good defense. Usually Lane Kiffin's teams, it's just all about offense. This year, they got a pretty good defense. You look at that game. Even last week, they kind of came out super flat. Obviously, they were looking forward to the Georgia game, but their defense is what kept them there, and they end up winning the game. So while I just can't trust Ole Miss to win this game, Their defense is significantly better than it's been. So if their offense can get it going like it usually does, there's a chance here. There's a chance.
Georgia a little sluggish offensively last week at Auburn too, but they're better at home.
It's on the road.
A lot of teams are. Auburn's crappy on defense, but yeah, this game I don't want to say that Ole Miss is gonna get smacked, but they might get smacked.
It wouldn't shock me if they did.
Right? Yeah, it wouldn't. It just
I'd be a little surprised if they won. It wouldn't shock me if they got beat by double digits.
Yeah, same. Number 11, Tennessee. At number 6, Alabama. Alabama, 4th week in a row now. They're playing a fucking top 15 team.
I know. Dude, Tennessee is one of the most fun teams to watch in the country. They can score quick. And Aguilar I don't think anybody throws a better deep ball.
No word on him for Heisman.
Right, because they lost. Who they lose? They lost that Georgia game.
Yeah,
well, look, if you go win this game, the problem is they started off the season playing some decent defense, and now they just don't.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that they're going to get enough stops.
They almost choked that game away on Saturday.
Where's this game?
It's in Tuscaloosa.
Yes, I just think that's tough. I think they're going to score. I think they're going to score some points. Man, they got some talent on offense, man. They're fucking loaded. But I just don't know that they got the horses on defense to get enough stops to win that game.
I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game as
well. I would say it's going to be a fun game to watch, folks. You're going to want to watch that game.
Number 20, USC, coming off a big win against my Michigan team at Notre Dame.
I think this is a tough spot for UFC. You got your home game against Michigan. You're geared up, and now you got to pack it up, go on the road against a team that might be even more physical in their running game than Michigan was. But with that said, this is the kind of team that Notre Dame has already had trouble with this year, like with that passing offense. Can they get a pass rush? Because if you can't get a pass rush against USC, they're going to go off, man. They're going to go off. So it's kind of like a battle of wills in this game. Can you slow down USC, and can USC get any kind of stops going on that Notre Dame running game? Tough to gear up week in, week out. Like you were just saying about Alabama playing 4 straight, ranked teams. It's tough, man. It's tough to get so high, so up, and then do it again next week on the road.
Good one out in the mountains. Number 23, Utah. At number 15, BYU.
BYU's a really good football team. I mean, Utah's good too. They got smacked by Texas Tech, but they're a good football team. They're always a good football team. But BYU is good. And what's shocking to me about BYU, they've always kind of been known for offense. This is a physical football team. They got some really nice guys on the offensive line, but they actually play some half-decent defense, which has never been their strength going back for about 100 years. Yeah.
Love all the Samoan guys on that team. Yep. They're big, they're athletic, they're fat.
They're fun.
And that's
is this a night game, by the way?
8:00 kick.
Yeah. So later in the night, there's not as many good games. You might want to check this one out. It'll be a fun game to watch.
Actually, no. Bama's at night and Notre Dame's at night, and this is at night, which I fucking can't.
Okay. I take it back.
No. I wasn't being an asshole to you. I'd be an asshole to the people who make the fucking schedules.
Yeah, right.
Spread these things out a little bit. Like we like to see.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, luckily, I'll be at a bar fucking 3 sheets to the wind in Denver, and I got TVs all over the place.
Shots for everyone.
You have anything else, Bob?
I got a couple real quick. Nebraska at Minnesota. Nebraska had that nice win. This is a game, back-to-back road games, and you're favored by 8.5. I know this is not one of the better Minnesota teams that they've had, but I actually think this is a tougher spot. Be careful, Nebraska here. I just worry about this one, but favored by 8.5, that means they should win. If they're an improving team, if they're an ascending team, win this game. I don't care if you cover, just win this game. Fascinating here. Georgia Tech, number 12 team in the country. So you're talking about a playoff team, technically, right? Playoffs at Duke. And this is one of those rules in gambling that they always tell you.
What's the number?
Duke is favored by 1.5. So you have an unranked team favored at home against a ranked team. That's Vegas telling you something. That is Vegas telling you that they think either Georgia Tech is not as good as you think, or Duke is better than you think. Combination of both. So be really careful here. If you like to play those kind of systems, the play here is actually on Duke. Should be interesting. Upset alert. Here we go. Texas, after a really nice win against Oklahoma, has to go on the road against a not so good Kentucky team.
Yeah.
But one thing I do know is that who's their coach there?
Stoops.
Yeah, Stoops, defensive guy, knows how to get pressure on the quarterback. If he does some twists and turns, and
you got a number for me? What's the spread there?
I don't have it here. I apologize for that. I should have wrote that shit down, but I'm a little unprepared. I can find that real quick, though. I probably got it right here. Texas favored by 12.5. I'm going to say this. I would not be shocked if Kentucky wins it outright. I can 12.5. They're not good. I think Kentucky's 2-3 this year. This is not their best year. I can see Stoops dialing up some pressure, getting some turnovers, a little pick six, some momentum. The crowd starts going nuts. Arch starts shitting the bed. Next thing you know, 17-13 Kentucky over Texas. It's not a prediction. It's just something to be aware of. And then lastly, I know I alluded a little earlier to Oklahoma State and their struggles. Check this one out, dude. Oklahoma State's at home this week against number 24 Cincinnati. Do you know what the spread is?
Cincinnati 17.
Cincinnati 22.5. What? Cincinnati is more than a 3 touchdown.
Bad, dude.
It kind of does. I'm with you on that. I'm kind of with you on that, man.
Oh my God.
It's disappointing.
You want to bet?
I want to gamble.
So listen, big week from the kid. 4-0.
You?
Brings me to 13-9-2.
I guess I'm not the kid.
Peter was 2-2. No,
I've been 2-2 for like 4 weeks straight.
You've been pretty treading water for a little bit there, pal. But you sort of
got off a hot start.
You still have a winning record, 13-11. So we are making people some money here if they're following us. My bets this week are ballsy. Let's just say,
of course,
you might join me in that, but I am going to Minnesota. No, we're doing college first. I almost fucked it up. I almost do what you do. Fucking guy.
I didn't ask this week.
I know, and I fuck it up. Imagine that. I am going out west in the mountains to BYU, Utah. BYU, I think, is the better team. At home, getting points. I know normally I would say fishy, but Utah has shown some weaknesses here. Last week they beat up a bad Arizona State team without their star quarterback.
So many injuries. Arizona State.
The quarterback was not with some weird undisclosed thing. It wasn't, I don't know, if there was a death in the family or something like that. But
yeah,
BYU's crowd, the Cougar mascot jumping over fire. I mean, let's get this crowd going. I love the hook. Give me BYU plus 2.5 against Utah.
Very nice. I'm going to head all the way out to the Garden State.
Oh.
Oregon is playing at Rutgers. I'll tell you what, man. When you're a good football team and you get beat at home, you get upset and you're feeling kind of bad and you're licking your wounds, you're licking your feathers a little bit here. Nothing tastes better than playing a bad team and putting a 50 spot on them. And you're thinking, why would they put 50 on Rutgers? Rutgers defense is atrocious. Now, I will say Rutgers can score some points, but I don't think they're going to score too many against Oregon. Give me Oregon minus 17.5 to straighten out the ship, right the ship here against Rutgers.
This is what's crazy and cool about these, like this new Big Ten. Like Oregon at Rutgers, like what the fuck?
There's rarely a further trip to be had.
I am going to South Bend, Indiana. I personally saw the Trojans rip up my Wolverines. I think Notre Dame plays a similar game to Michigan, as you just said. Now, again, it's harder to do it on the road. It's harder to do it 2 weeks in a row. But no, maybe Notre Dame and Lincoln, my boy Lincoln Riley, all of a sudden, really
one of the best coaches in college football.
He should have that job forever. I think
underrated.
I think this team hangs around. 8.5 points is a lot. Notre Dame gets off to these slow starts, man. And that combined gets a team like USC who wants to throw it around fast. Notre Dame hasn't seen this team, and if they did, they haven't played well against it. I'm not saying the Trojans win, but if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive, this is a playoff eliminator, by the way. Let's be honest. I think, right?
I think that's fair.
So give me USC plus 8.5 in South Bend.
I'm loving these teams that are coming off losses, so I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go with Oklahoma minus 5.5 at South Carolina. That was a tough game against Texas. They go back on the road, but earlier in the season, you thought that they would have some trouble playing, I want to say at Temple or something like that.
Yes.
And they ended up putting it on them. South Carolina has been a bit of a disappointment.
Another
this
guy,
year.
Sellers, another Heisman guy that sucks. Yeah,
And he's been injured. He's been banged up, but still been a disappointment. I still have a lot of faith in that Oklahoma defense. I got to believe that Mateer is going to play better against South Carolina than he did against Texas. I got to think that offensive line is going to play better. I think Oklahoma wins this game by double digits at least. So give me Oklahoma minus 5.5 at South Carolina.
To the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles go to Minnesota. Backs up against the wall. I know they haven't looked good. They got an extra couple days to prepare. We don't know who's going to play quarterback for Minnesota. We don't know. The defense for Minnesota hasn't been great. We love Brian Flores, and they haven't played great. They're coming off a bye. Philly gets their guard back, Landon Dickerson, and they get their defensive tackle, Jalen Carter back, which are two huge pieces on the line of scrimmage.
Monsters.
I think they want to shut these guys up, shut the media up, shut guys like us up. Love the number here. Just basically win the game. Philly minus 1.5 at the Vikings.
This is just evidence that you and I do not collaborate before the show. I like the Eagles minus 1.5 at Minnesota. All the reasons that you said. Two tough losses. Well, one bad loss, one tough loss. They need to win, or else
for the Vikings, right?
They just know all the chaos of the media for an entire. What do we say, right? The one thing that's different about the NFL and all other sports is you lose a game in the NBA, you got another game 2 nights later. There's not too much time to talk about it.
Yeah.
You lose a game in football, they rip you to shreds for 5-6 days before you get to, prove yourself to be better than you looked. So the Eagles do not want. I gotta believe that they're going to come out pretty desperate in this game. So, on top of all the reasons that you said, I like the Eagles minus. Like you said, you basically just got to win the game.
Just win the game.
Win the game.
Coach, you said something before that's a number one rule of thumb for us with gambling. A team that fires their coach, do they get some juice back? Their ex-coach, the ex-girlfriend come back into town? No. I think the Patriots absolutely. I love the way Drake May's playing. I love the way Vrabel's got him. The attitude, the defense, the line of scrimmage are very balanced. I think Tennessee's a mess. I think from the front office down, I have no idea who's even taking over the controls. Cam Ward has no time to throw the ball, and he's starting to get in his own head too. Receivers aren't great. Running game's not great. It's a bad combination. Give me the Patriots by double digits, -7 in Tennessee.
I really thought that the Tennessee offensive line was going to be a little bit better this year because they spent a little money over the last 2 seasons to rebuild
I think they lost a guy or two during the year.
Yeah, maybe they have because it's not good. I mean, Cam Ward is just under intense pressure every fucking time he drops back. It's
think
untenable.
Max Crosby knew what fucking Cam Ward had for lunch the day before.
Jesus Christ, man. Unbelievable. What's the one thing we talk about all the time that you don't want to have in the NFL? You don't want noise. You don't want chaos. And right now, there's no team in the NFL that has more chaos going on right now than the Miami Dolphins. And so then you take that chaos and you go on the road against the Browns, who are not a very good football team, but that defense at home plays freaking fantastic. I don't even know if Miami's going to score 10 points in this game. So give me the Browns -2.5. Dylan Gabriel, this should be a good game for him because he's not going to get a lot of pressure because Miami's defense is bad. The Browns should even be able to run the ball. What have we been talking about? Like, Browns aren't great, but they're looking on the other side and saying, this is a game we got a chance to get a win, boys. Let's go. And I think they show up at home and play pretty well. All they got to do is win by a field goal. I love the number here. 2.5 is a beauty.
Man. He's back
so
to his old
win
ways.
by a field goal. I think they win by more than a field goal, but win by a field goal and you cover. So give me the Browns -2.5 over Miami.
4 favorites for the young man.
I know. Last week or 2 weeks ago, it was all dogs. That didn't work out. So I'm going to try something different here.
So in review, I got the USC Trojans +8.5 at Notre Dame, BYU +3.5 at home versus Utah, the Patriots -7 at the Titans, and the Eagles -1.5 at the Vikings.
I'm going with the Ducks licking their feathers at Rutgers -17.5. Oklahoma for a big comeback win -5.5 out South Carolina. I love the Eagles win the game at Minnesota, just like Scotty said. And I can't stand chaos in the NFL, and Miami is chaotic. So give me the Browns -2.5 at home over the Fins.
Are you shocked he's still there?
No, because it is still a little early. But and you know what's funny? You look at a couple games. They've been in a couple of these games kind of late. You know, they were in the Buffalo game
They had
late.
this game late too. They had a lead.
They had this game late, so it's not a total disaster. Just the record is a disaster. But I don't like chaos. I didn't look at Tua coming out this week and calling players out kind of the way other people did. Some people looked at it as like he's blaming everybody else. I didn't hear it that way. I kind of heard it as like we have to do better. I thought of it more of a we thing. And he's many times taken.
Why bring it up now? Like it's
again, we don't know what has happened behind closed doors, like right. So like I know people say like, why are you talking about this in public? Well, maybe he's talked about this in private many times. And what did he say? We called a players only meeting and you didn't show up. People didn't show up or people were late, which screams it's not that important to you. Well, then what's the next step? You know, I heard stupid Evan Cohen on Unsportsman like say, well, maybe he should have, instead of coming out in public, maybe he should have gone to the player and said, if you're not going to come, I'm going to go tell the coach. And he got laughed out of the building. Like, that's going to make you look more like a leader? Dude, I don't understand why Tua is catching so much heat, but everybody was making excuses for A.J. Brown and all the shit that he said over the last 2 years. It's a little odd to me. Yeah. It's just a little odd to me that Tua's getting shit for this, but A.J. Brown, it's like, hey, this is how he feels, man. He's trying to motivate his team. You can't have it both ways, man. It's either not good to come out in public or it's okay. So I didn't really have a problem with it. It didn't come across to me when I first heard it, before I heard what anybody said. It didn't come across to me like that. But it doesn't matter what I think. If the birds are chirping, the birds are chirping. And right now it came across, it's at least partially coming across negative. And from what I'm hearing, it's players that didn't like it. Players on the team didn't like it. And that's where the chaos is coming in. And that's why I really like the Browns there.
All right, buddy, ready for some trivia?
I really wish we could kill this fucking segment, but go ahead. Let's go.
Peter,
who
was first all time in receiving touchdowns with the Chicago Bears?
Receiving touchdown. Willie Galt?
Dick Gordon, Ken Cavanaugh, Mike Ditka, Curtis Conway.
Or Willie Galt?
Willie Galt.
Oh, wow. This is a total guess. Can you give me those names one more time?
Dick Gordon, Ken Cavanaugh, Mike Ditka, Curtis Conway.
Well, Mike Ditka is pretty much the only one that I know, so I'm going to go with Mike Ditka.
Ken Cavanaugh with 50, my friend.
You don't even know if Cavanaugh starts with a K or a C.
I do because I wrote it down. It's double K, my friend. Peter, Jay Cutler is first all-time in passing yards and touchdowns with the Bears.
No shit.
Who is second? Sid Luckman, Jim McMahon, Jim Harbaugh, Ed Brown.
I'm going to go with Sid Luckman.
You are correct.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Bro, I was shocked by that too. Jay Cutler has,
just because he wasn't there that long,
23,400 yards and 154 passing touchdowns. Luckman had 14,000 and change and 137 touchdown passes.
He was close.
Yeah.
Where's McMahon fall on that list?
Like fourth, I think. Harbaugh.
You know what's so
they ran
funny?
The ball. Like
McMahon gets no love, like from the media for his time in Chicago. I know it's relatively short.
Yeah.
In Chicago, he gets a lot. But I mean, from like sports media, it's just like Chicago never had a good quarterback. They had a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Peter, who was first all time in passing yards with the Cleveland Browns?
First all-time passing yards, Cleveland Browns. Right off the top of my head, I got Bernie Kosar.
Frank Ryan, Bernie Kosar, Brian Sipe, Otto Graham.
Can you give me those names again?
Frank Ryan, Bernie Kosar, Brian Sipe, Otto Graham.
Frank Ryan. I'm going to stick with my gut on this one. I'm going to stick with my instincts here. I'm going to go with Bernie Kosar.
You are incorrect.
Is it Brian Sipe?
Brian Sipe.
Golly. You know what I thought? Only reason I even considered him was because he was there for a decent while.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, right before Bernie got there.
While. Yeah. Damn, I thought was Sipe second? I mean, was Kosar second?
Otto Graham was second.
No kidding.
Kosar was third, yeah.
Wow. I remember a story that Dan Marino told I think it was Dan Marino told about Bernie Kosar. They were at one of those like Pro Bowl,
like
couple
throwing contest shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And there was like moving targets and a bunch of these guys. He's like, it was Marino, it was Theismann, I think it was Montana,
Elway,
and Kosar. And he said, everybody comes up there and some guys hit their targets and some guys miss. You miss it, you miss a few, you hit a few. Now here comes Bernie Kosar with this just weird, wicked looking passing style. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, kind
it
of
just
funky,
was this
right?
kind of like it was like weird, like Phillip Rivers. It didn't look like Phillip Rivers, but you know how Phillip Rivers almost looks like he's shot putting the ball kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, here comes Bernie Kosar, and he just hits every fucking one in the goddamn middle of the target. And he was like, we're all looking at each other. Like, here's like 5 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, so we're all looking at each other like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he can't even throw the ball right, and he's hitting every
3 Bloody Marys in, just hitting targets.
Yeah. If you were to go back, nobody thinks about Bernie Kosar historically, but you go back and like, if you were, because obviously the Browns were bad too, but when he was there, they were decent. You go back and look at some, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or something like that. Bernie Kosar was deadly accurate, like pretty damn good quarterback. So, what are you watching this weekend, my man?
I will be in Denver, Colorado. I traveled.
When you heading out?
Friday afternoon.
Nice.
So I would be getting there late, probably a little dinner and probably some football on TV there. Maybe Miami, Louisville, second half.
Nice, yeah.
Saturday all day football at a bar, probably, and then Sunday from Mile High, Giants Broncos.
Very cool. WWE had an event this past weekend. It was Crown Jewel in Perth. I had mentioned it last week, and I will tell you that, in my opinion, this was their best pay-per-view event since last year's WrestleMania. Every single match was elite, right down from the first one, Roman Reigns. The tribal chief right away had a great match right away, all the way down to the last one where Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes went at it for a while, and Seth Rollins ends up winning the match. But every single match was fantastic, a lot of fun. There's been some grumblings, some people upset with some of the recent pay-per-views that they just haven't been great. They've been more like kind of glorified Raw or SmackDowns, but this one was really good. And then I can't say because my son hasn't watched it yet, and sometimes he listens to this. So something happened on Monday Night Raw that was one of those holy shit moments. Maybe I'll bring it up next week. So it's been a lot. I like to see what they've been doing. Creative has been a little more creative the past couple of weeks. So that was fun. But yeah, obviously college football, NFL. I'm really looking forward. I'm really fascinated by that that Vandy LSU game. I really think there's a possibility Vandy pulls that off because LSU just has not been typical LSU on offense, and Vandy could score. Like I said, they hung in there with Alabama, so I'm really intrigued if that's the upset. And then obviously I think there's a potential for Kentucky beating Texas. So I would love to see it.
Yeah,
I would love to see it. And then I'm just going to keep selling college football because it seems like every week I sell somebody else on it and they're like, oh shit, I do agree. For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later.
All right.
Awesome.
Looks good. Might have this out tonight.